My friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. Gunther and Undertaker had a very interesting podcast, and a couple things that I want to note from that interview together. One, I think Undertaker is an absolutely terrible podcast interviewer. He doesn't really know what he's saying. He stumbles over his words all the time. He doesn't really finish or follow through on a point, but that is what it is. He's hired by WWE and Fanatics, and he has a podcast, and it's quite popular. And obviously, Undertaker is one of the most popular and recognizable figures in WWE history, and he had a very interesting chat with Gunther. He's been very complimentary of Gunther, unlike Bret Hart. Bret Hart thinks Gunther is bad and hurts people. Well, Bret Hart doesn't know anything because Bret Hart thinks that CM Punk is the best wrestler in the world, which is obviously not true. And so Gunther and Undertaker have a sit-down conversation, and a few things came up. One, Undertaker, again, very complimentary of Gunther, says that if there was one person he would come out of retirement for, it would be Gunther. And I think in Undertaker's prime and Gunther's prime, which is right now, they would have an absolutely fantastic match. It would have been awesome to see Gunther in the middle of Undertaker's streak, going toe-to-toe with the Undertaker, blow for blow, strike for strike, power bombs and clotheslines and big boots and tombstones and last rides and all these types of stuff would have been awesome between Undertaker and Gunther. And I think in the middle of Undertaker's streak, they could have made you really believe that Gunther could have been the guy to break the streak. And now we know who did. It was Brock Lesnar. And now we might see a Gunther versus Brock Lesnar match. But absolutely would have loved to see Undertaker in his prime versus Gunther go toe-to-toe at a WrestleMania match with a huge build-up and a storyline and all these sorts of things. It would have been awesome. I would have loved that. I think everyone would have loved that. And then Gunther said something very interesting about one of his meet and greets. He said that one of his fans, someone that really adores and likes him, drove 9 hours to come meet him at a meet and greet. And when that person finally came up to meet Gunther, Gunther told him basically, I hope you find something better to do with your time. Now, Gunther is Austrian. He spent a lot of time in Germany. That's where I met him. That's where I know him. I know Gunther personally. We spent a lot of time together on the roads, traveling and wrestling. And Gunther is one of the nicest people that I've ever met in my whole life. Now, maybe I shouldn't say that because he's supposed to be portraying this bad-ass heel, but I think in the ring, Gunther is totally different. He turns this switch on in the ring and becomes this sort of killer, this beast, this absolutely diabolical human who wants to destroy his opponent. That's what Gunther becomes in the ring, because the ring is sacred to Gunther. So when he steps in between those ropes, when he wipes his feet on the mat, he steps into the ring, it's all business. It's all business. Like Jacob Fatu says, it's all gas, no brakes. Outside the ring, Gunther is a husband, he's a family man, right? He talked about that with Undertaker. He talked about that, his child, with Undertaker. And so as someone who spent a lot of time in Germany, like Gunther has, he's very straightforward and very straight to the point. When he said this to his fan, he meant it in the most kindest, sweetest way. Like, I really appreciate you coming 9 hours to see me. I love that. Thank you. But please find something better to do with your time in those 9 hours that are going to enrich your life, enhance your life, fulfill your life. I think that's the point he was trying to make. Of course, the other side of the argument is Gunther should have never, ever, ever said that, because fans are the lifeblood of the industry, and without fans, there is no professional wrestling. And obviously, that's true. We tried that during COVID. It sucked. The fans are the heart and soul of the wrestling business of WWE, and anytime we get a chance to love on them, to appreciate them, to thank them for driving 9 hours, to seeing a meet and greet, to buying a shirt, to coming to a show, to doing anything, we should absolutely do that. And Gunther, I'm sure, did. I'm sure that interaction wasn't just, hey, you should do something better with your time. But he said that in a way he said, if my son is doing that or my child is doing that, then I want them to find something that's fulfilling and meaningful. And maybe this is fulfilling and meaningful for this person. Maybe not driving 9 hours was the best thing they could do. And they listened to a bunch of podcasts, and then they met Gunther, and it was the highlight of their day, and it kept them moving and kept them going forward. So there's so many different circumstances that might happen because of meeting your favorite WWE superstar. I understand where Gunther was coming from, because I understand a little bit of his personality and the way he talks and the way he goes about his business. But I also understand the other side of it is like, we have to absolutely appreciate the fans. They are the lifeblood, the heart and soul of professional wrestling. We need them, we love them, and we should appreciate them anytime they drive 2 hours, an hour, 30 minutes, buy a ticket, buy a shirt, anything. And so, yeah, there's always going to be both sides to a story, but I have a lot of love for Gunther. Maybe I'm biased because I know him personally, but I think he's the best in the world right now, and also just an absolutely stellar guy. And I appreciated his interview with The Undertaker, but I could give Gunther a way better interview than that. But anyways, that's just a sidebar. It is neither here nor there. Pro Wrestling Daily, here we are. But let's move on to the next subject we have, which is Cody Rhodes and this constant chatter about him turning heel. They thought it was going to happen at SummerSlam. There was going to be like this weird double turn, but we know John Cena is now a babyface. I'm not sure if I fully believe John Cena is a babyface again, but I think it's great for him. The last 4 months or 11 or 12 dates that John Cena has left should be as a babyface, so people can cheer him, people can love him, people can appreciate him. We can actually send him off in a great way. And it's rumored that Gunther will be John Cena's final match. We'll see now that Brock Lesnar is in the picture. Will Brock Lesnar just destroy John Cena, and then boom, he rides off into the sunset, just doing amazing movies like Ricky Stenicki all the time. We love you, John. Thanks for being a babyface. But people thought also Cody Rhodes was going to turn heel, and that's just constant chatter over and over and over again. When's Cody Rhodes turning heel? Is WWE going to turn him heel? No. Cody Rhodes is the biggest babyface in the company. He is the quarterback. Why on earth would they turn him heel? If you can name me in the comments right now 1 to 3 benefits of Cody Rhodes turning heel that actually are convincing and real and might make the company money, because that's all they care about, making money, selling tickets. Is Cody Rhodes going to sell more tickets as a babyface or as a heel? I think as a heel, I don't know. Right? It's people confuse turning heel for being aggressive and doing whatever it takes to win. Babyfaces and good guys, do whatever it takes to win. When you start going overboard and insulting the fans and insulting the locker room and doing things that are out of character, out of question, or uncalled for, or trying to injure someone, those are the things that make you heel. You're trying to cheat to win on a consistent basis, even when you don't need to cheat to win, right? A babyface can do some of those types of things, but it's warranted because they're trying to keep their title, or they're trying to fight off the bad guys, or whatever the case may be. You see this all the time in superhero movies, right? They toe that line. Cody Rhodes absolutely does not need to turn heel. It wouldn't bring any benefit whatsoever unless you can convince me in the comments down below. But I think him as babyface, for as long as he gets a good reaction, even though his match at SummerSlam, people were way more into John Cena than they were Cody Rhodes, but that's just because it's John Cena, and he's finally babyface after doing a sort of a weird type of heel run to get people more invested and more appreciative in the John Cena that we know and love. And so I see absolutely no benefit from Cody Rhodes turning heel. It's not going to happen anytime soon, and you can come back to this very moment in this video if I am wrong and tell me I was wrong, and I'll say, great, I was wrong, full responsibility. But I just don't see it happening anytime soon. We should appreciate Cody Rhodes as the great babyface he is right now. Give him his flowers while we can, appreciate it while we can, and enjoy one of the best babyfaces we've seen in a while, probably leading up to Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes 3 at WrestleMania 42, where Roman Reigns will win back his title. That's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. And then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.